Hello, welcome to the Paterno podcast. I am your host, Michael Paterno, and I got my lovely co-host and beautiful wife with me, Mrs. Carrie
Hey guys.
Paterno.
Hey, hey,
How are you
hey.
guys? We have
Good.
a very special episode today. We got episode 65. Carrie, are you excited?
So excited.
Oh yeah. We got a one repeating guest and one new guest. We have two of our friends, Mr. Joel Bauman and Mrs. Maax West.
Mhm.
Maax is a WBFF Bikini World Champion 2023. She's training in the MMA. She's training to get into the MMA. She's
Badass.
Alovea business partner, a biohacking expert, the owner of Pure Blood, the apparel
Hmm.
company. 23 years professional in photo, video, and graphic design and marketing for the web. She's done almost every big fitness company that you could ever think of. And Mr. Joel is a professional MMA fighter, light heavyweight, collegiate wrestler in Minnesota, an advocate for malnourishment, and also an Alovea business partner. And he's on a mission to save the kids. They're both on missions to save the kids. And he is Joel is one of the most viral and censored fighters on the planet that we know today.
Another
So
badass.
two badasses. Thank you guys for coming on the show. We're so grateful for this opportunity, and me and Carrie have been excited about this opportunity for the past couple of days since we were able to organize this.
Well, I'm grateful for you and thank you for joining the mission to save children because that's the most important thing.
Thank you for having
Yes.
us. And I also realized that I'm not wearing my own darn Pure Blood shirt, but you are. I love that.
It's
Product
okay. I'll
placement.
represent for both of us. I love Pure Blood. So guys, how's the Max? How's the MMA training going now that you've been transitioned out of
It's,
the whole bodybuilding stuff?
well, I don't know if I'm gonna completely stop doing that, but so I've been here for about 2.5 months. So I came here, super excited and did a lot of training in the beginning. Like my first week, I would do like 4 to 6 hours of training a day. Everything is super fun. I am on the acemannan and betalains, so I'm not getting that, super sore, feeling great. But then because I'm an athlete, some of the coaches here said that it was perfectly okay that I joined some pro classes. So fast forward to about 3 weeks ago. Is it 3 weeks? No, maybe 2 weeks. I did one of the pro classes and it was a pretty brutal one, and I torn something in my knee.
Oh.
So,
Oh, no.
since I came here, I've hurt the other knee, I hurt my foot, I hurt my chest, and then that knee, that was kind of bad. So I decided to maybe stop just doing everything and actually do it the proper way. And I've realized that bodybuilding is kind of stupid. Excuse me, everyone who bodybuilds, but it's the truth. We're just not functional at all. We might look good and we're strong, and I'm very strong, and that's great. But yeah, not very functional. So I am now doing something called a functional pattern program, and I've done it for about 3 weeks, and I'm going to do 10 weeks total of basically no training and only myofascial release. And then after that, starting like a functional movement training together with the fighting. So right now I have 7 more weeks of no training, and I'm going a little bit crazy here, but it's okay. It's for a good reason, and it will all be worth it.
That myofascial releases, that's all stretching and stuff, isn't it?
It's just rolling basically with the
Right.
different sizes and strength of balls. And you can do rollers as well, but mostly balls.
Right.
So it's just getting
That's
out
good
all the
stuff.
tension in the body, basically.
Yeah, you gotta stretch those muscles out and get them loose so they can grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in your case, build endurance and strength.
Yeah, so I've also going through a bunch of injuries in my life has always been made me very restricted, which is why I did like the bodybuilding, because I was able to alter all of my training after my injuries. So, for example, I would never let my knees go over my toes ever. What happened to her picture? That was just one example. So if you would ever catch me in the gym, you would see that I would always train in a very specific way, kind of do everything in my own way with bands in certain ways. And I wouldn't really do like a normal squat or a normal deadlift or anything. I would just, compromise after my injuries. And then coming here to train MMA, it's not like I can be in a fight and just like, wait a second, I cannot let my knee go off my toe. That's not going to work. So I am now going to do everything in the right order and train the body to be able to handle the impact, because this is brand new for me and I've never done this before.
Joel, are you training her?
I've done, a little technique stuff.
He sparred with me once and he punched me in the face. It was great.
Men fighting in women's sports.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
well, there's a lot of women that train here, and they always mix it up with the guys.
Oh yeah, you do. That was actually one of my first days. I had a wrestling class, and you just pair up with somebody, whoever. So I pair up with this one guy who was, obviously a lot bigger than me, which is fine because in the class, typically, I don't know if you've ever done it, but you just take turns. So one person is basically the one who's over the other one or whatever. And then you just take turns to go through the movements and you're not really trying to fight back, if that makes sense. So I'm training with this guy and
training technique
going well, but he was so heavy. So he like plopped down on top of me and I just feel my chest like
Oh wow.
I had pain in my chest for 2 weeks after that. So maybe that was not like a great idea, but that's what, again, like my body's not used to the impact and I need to train my body to be able to handle the impact, because I should be able to train with somebody that is bigger than me.
Right. What gym are you guys train at?
Jackson Wink MMA.
Jackson Wink MMA. If you guys are in Albuquerque, go check out Jackson Wink MMA if you guys want to do some boxing or some UFC, some MMA.
It is one of the best gyms in the country, hands down.
Well, that explains why Maax moved.
I also want to point out, actually just a couple of days ago, me and Joel were out here and shooting some content they have like a program for autistic children, which was the cutest darn thing ever. So these kids are, I guess, I don't really know how it works, but
it's called adaptive MMA.
Maybe you can explain.
So adaptive MMA is essentially a nonprofit for the gym that essentially allows kids with all types of social, emotional, learning. I don't like to say disabilities, but, everybody dealing with something, and gives them a platform to be able to express themselves through their body, learn their body, get stronger. Some of these kids were told they would never be able to balance, and they're throwing kicks, and they're throwing really good kicks. So they just get taught and have a place to express themselves.
I shared the video with you guys. It was some of these kids are so good. I'm just looking, I was like,
that's awesome.
Tiny little kids, just incredible.
It gives them an outlet.
Yeah,
Right.
my our older one, he's my son from my first marriage, and he struggled a lot with anger when we left my ex-husband, and he struggled a lot with just different just outbursts and being angry and not knowing why he was angry. He was only 4 years old, and one of the therapists told me the best thing you could do is get him into some kind of like martial art, and it'll help teach him discipline, give him an outlet for his grief, give him an outlet for his anger. And
shout out to whoever that was.
Yeah. And it's going to help him focus. It's going to help him with all the struggles that he had before he started kindergarten. So I put him in Taekwondo, and he really liked it. And then he started school, and then of course he wanted to play football because all of his friends were playing football. But Michael and I were actually just talking about, we were watching whose podcast? We were watching someone's podcast, and they said it's an integral part of young boys to get them into some sort of fighting skill, getting them into some sort of martial art. And so we were just talking about that the other day where I was like, I really think that's important for him to get into something just so he can learn those skills. And I think he would really enjoy it because he still struggles with like some confidence and I think just like voicing how he feels. And you can tell when he gets upset, you know, he clenches his fists and he gets real like you can see it. And I think it would be good for him as like a physical outlet, but also just for his concentration and stuff like that. So that's cool you guys are doing that with the kids.
That's beautiful. And you can see how it affects them even in their training in the video. So it's wonderful.
I'll have to
Awesome.
find that video, or Maax, you can send it over to us when you get a chance.
I will. Well, I have a little. Well, after watching this, and then I was talking to Coach Wink here about it, and you know, so it's a nonprofit, obviously, so the children don't pay. And I said, I have this little dream now that I would like us to be able to donate acemannan products to them, because there is a new researcher study out right now about acemannan's effect on autism, for example. So that's something I would like to figure out now.
That's awesome.
I know Carrie's loving the Aceman, and I'm loving it too. I don't know. I don't know if I told you guys, but I had in March when I started my new weightlifting and supplement program, I was doing the plate loaded chest press machine, and I hurt something from my neck through my shoulder down behind my tricep through the back of my arm. I don't know what it was. I went to my chiropractor. He, you know, was working on it we were doing the lacrosse ball and all this stuff. Well, now that I'm on acemannan 100%, I'm on the integrative bundle, and I started taking it when we moved here. And I woke up like 3 weeks ago and I looked at Carrie. I said, you know, I haven't had any shoulder pain. I never thought about it because I've been rolling with shoulder pain for like 6 months. And she was like, I bet it's a combination of, it's probably obviously not. I couldn't do any shoulder exercises or chest exercises. But obviously from not doing that and taking the acemannan, I'm sure the stem cell regeneration helped out my shoulder in some
And the
capacity.
betalains for sure for the information
And
there. I think I had a bad shoulder for about 15 years.
Ooh.
I haven't had any pain in my shoulder this whole year, and then whenever I talk to somebody that has issues with their shoulder, I'm just like, I know. It was every single day. I couldn't even work out without doing an entire rehab program first.
Oh, wow.
Carrie and we've been telling everybody about it. Some people look at us like we have two heads sometimes when we explain the acemannan, and they're like, how can this help us? Like,
Right.
and
Well,
you know,
there's the indoctrination. It's the indoctrination of what, you know, what has been, as Kamala would say. And
big pharma.
you know, it is that's all people know. And so when I first saw this and I was wrestling at the University of Minnesota, I had suffered a head injury, and you know, we're called the Hope Movement. And so we provide hope to people. You know, I believe that hope is light to those in darkness, and I was in darkness. I was told I would never compete again after a head injury, and I've had multiple head injuries, and I remember I wasn't able to read the page that I was reading in my geology book. I had to read it over and over and over again, then did little, you know, asterisks to see how many times I had read it, and it was like 19 times. I couldn't remember what I was reading. So I had seen a couple of my idols, one being Jake Deichler, not be able to wrestle anymore from head injuries. And he was an iconic wrestler from the University of Minnesota who had to, you know, end his career not wrestling because of head injuries. So I was very, 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 very depressed, shall we say. And my buddy called me and he said, hey, Joe, I heard you have a head injury. We need to sit down. It got something that you need to check out. You have inflammation of the brain, and we have something that lowers inflammation naturally. And it's all from food, one ingredient. I know you're a health guy. You'll love this. Just take a look at it. Sat down with him. Within 2.5 weeks, I was medically cleared to wrestle. And now here we are. and we fight
Now,
professionally. I don't have any head injuries. I rarely get hit, but even if I do, I love it, and I'm able to recover extremely fast. So it's awesome.
in that situation, Joel, are you taking the recommended dosage that it says on the back of the box? Or are you taking
Yeah, that was
more?
just
Are you
one.
taking that's just one supplement, one pill a day or whatever?
Yep, that was just literally one. One in the morning, one in the evening, 2 a day. Simple. Yep.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
I believe in this I believe in this
Well,
I
hear me out. How
I
I explain it to people, bro, how I explain it, because people will look at you with two heads. And since you guys just got started, you're in what I call the blind ignorance phase, meaning
Hmm.
you have blind ignorance, but faith in this. And your excitement is what will move people. It's not necessarily the words that are coming out of your mouth. So you can get people to move. But then when you can start to learn what this does in the body and then see it, because you're seeing it, you're feeling it. But once you start
Mhm.
helping other people, that's when it's like, that's when it becomes more real. Right now you're just like, wow, that really helped my shoulder. When you do or have a story like she does with a gentleman with bone marrow C word,
Yeah.
and you have stories like my dad wasn't able to lift his left shoulder above his ear since high school, and a month and a half, taking betalains, he was, and started to run bone on bone in his knees again. I couldn't play catch with him growing up. He would have to go in after like 15 tosses of the football, and then it was like one of the most painful memories as a child, because I always wanted to have those moments, right? But he couldn't do that. And to see him older being able to do that was incredible. So then that took my belief to the next level. And my whole thing was, if this works for me and this works for my dad, who's not an athlete, let's just say, I got something massive on my hands. So I
Yeah.
have to bring this to the world. I have to.
Mhm.
And I can now, because I know it works for me and now I know it works for him. So when that happens for you guys, and you can obviously start educating people, and how I like to educate people is, are you aware that inflammation is the root cause behind every bad thing that pretty much happens in your body? That's a very general statement. But if you're
Mhm.
not aware, let's just say, you would know that. That's a fact. That's a generalized fact. Okay, betalain is the anti-inflammatory property found in a beet. We do food technology. So this isn't beetroot powder, it is betalain. Betalain is also it's also put in the sugar molecule. It's attached to the sugar molecule, excuse me. So we have the patent to take the betalain from the sugar and just give you the betalain. So it's the healing property found in the food. We find the healing properties found in the food and give it to you. That's what science should be. It
Hmm.
should
Yeah.
be going in and finding the stuff in the food that we eat that does good things for our body. We should use science to go in there and be
Mhm.
like, wow, that is the thing that activates a good thing in your body, like lowering inflammation. It just that
Mhm.
when you can help people just simply understand that, and then do you have any discomfort in your body? Well, yeah, I have my shoulder, but
Hmm.
oh, okay, that's probably inflammation. Do you want to
Mhm.
continue to take Tylenol? Did you know Tylenol gives you little stomach ulcers every time you take it? No. Well, instead of taking that bullshit, take
Yeah.
this
Mhm.
instead, because it's just food and it's one ingredient and it's all natural. It's organic. It's the best thing that your body could possibly have. See, this is the way of the future. And so I've been doing this for 10 years, bro. And trust me, everybody will look at you with like you have two heads on. But it's
Uh-huh.
cool now that everything's happening the way that it is. Because for 7 years, bro, I've been trying to be like, why are people drinking fluoride? It's 2015 and people are still drinking fluoride. It's 2015 and people are still using sucralose. It's 20, and what is Prime dealing with right now? Billion
Prime.
dollar Prime became a $1 billion company in a year.
Hmm.
From pretty much 2022 to 2023. Prime took over, became a $1 billion company because Logan Paul was on there, little influencer, right? Telling you, hey, drink this.
KSI.
drink this bullshit that has sucralose in it that alters your DNA. Hey, drink that. Meanwhile, 7 years ago, I was telling people, hey, the reason why our company is going to be the next biggest thing in the world is because we do food technology and we don't have any of the BS in it. And like, we don't have like sucralose, because there was another $1 billion company in our industry that used to use that. And then people started to figure out that their company was just selling BS. And so I've seen it happen before. So I knew the exact same thing was going to happen to Prime. And here we are now. Everybody's like, oh, wait a minute. Kellogg's has nasty things in it. Well, it's always had nasty things in it. We just didn't know that. I ate oatmeal cream pie cereal growing up. You think I knew what was in the oatmeal cream pie? Looking back, that's disgusting to me. I would never do that.
I wasn't on. In Sweden, we don't have funny cereal. Like, I don't know. These days they probably do. But when I was about 15, we took a trip to Florida to go to like Disney World or whatever. And I remember we went to the grocery store, and like, as like a young person, I just look at my dad and I'm like, can we buy cereal? Because you go to the cereal aisle, like, we don't have that. We don't have anything. What are you turning me off? And so when we were on the vacation here, we were allowed to try the cereal, and then when we got back home, we just couldn't eat that, because we all knew that any American food was poison. Like, we've always known that anything that came from over here was poison. Now, unfortunately, there is just as much poison over there, but it's been known to the entire world that everything in America is poison.
Boy, they're also people are also starting to figure out why. You have to educate people on why is there just poison in the food. Well, it's because it's cheap. It's cheaper to make a chemical that literally gets you addicted than just giving you the thing. But I think that's also BS. I think it's also and that's why they would tell you that. But I think there's other reasons as to why they're doing it, because they can get you addicted to chemicals. They can't get you addicted like this. There's a Dr. Artis has come out and is now campaigning about nicotine and how it's actually a thing that our body needs. It's found in eggplants. It's found in potatoes. It's found in all of this. And it was the cure supposedly to COVID and all of these things, because it lowers inflammation naturally in your body. And there's studies out that shows what it can do for people who have had strokes and all of these other things. And so he's now going on a world tour talking about the benefits of nicotine and educating people on I believe it's over 500 ingredients that they add to cigarettes and tobacco in today's world that gets you addicted. It's not the nicotine that's addictive. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, because your body needs it. It's the 500 chemicals that they put in there that get something like it's something outrageous.
I just watched a video yesterday.
Yeah, perfect. 299 chemicals. Regardless, it's hundreds of chemicals in cigarettes that get you addicted. Why is blue 40 or blue 5 and yellow 5? Why is that in there when it's a neurotoxin? To me, it's because those two industries, the big pharma, the doctors, and food are all, and they're all owned by the same people. To get you sick, to not keep you. So everybody should know about betalains. Everybody should know about acemannan. Everybody should know about these things. And it makes sense to just take these things, because once you start waking up to the evil in food, she'll tell you she only eats things that are like one ingredient. I'll only eat something if it has 4 or 5 ingredients. And a lot of the times it's because I'm cooking for myself and I'm dumping pistachios and dates and
in food, because
exactly you're taking one ingredient and putting it exactly. That's the philosophy.
I've been to dinner with Maax before. I see how she eats.
Yeah. Yep. But hear me out. That is what it was when our ancestors were growing up. What were they eating? They weren't eating all the sugar. They weren't eating all the sugar and the BS. You look at people from the 50s, some of those videos, like when they were taking the videos of them at the gym, all the guys were in shape in some way, shape, or form. All the women were in shape. Before all of the processed garbage got introduced, because it is convenience that killed America. Quote that. It is convenience that led to the downfall of America, because life isn't supposed to be convenient. It's not. That is why we have the seasons. If we didn't have electricity in all these other places, the seasons would make it so it's not comfortable. We just stepped outside today. It's been the coldest day pretty much of the year. And it's like, woof, it's 30 degrees. She was making a comment as she was getting gas. And I looked at her, I said, when I came down here from Minnesota 5 years ago, I rode my motorcycle down. And by the time I left South Dakota, it was in November, it was 27 degrees. And I drove through rain, sleet, and snow to get here. And I did it because if I made it, I knew I was supposed to be here, and we were supposed to be here. And part of the thing that made me do it is because I wanted to test myself. I love testing myself in many different ways. And so think about it. Our ancestors were always tested by something.
Mm-hmm.
An animal, right?
Yeah.
Another tribe. What man has not seen war in his lifetime? Or threat of violence?
I don't know.
Well, your uncle, your grandpa. Do you have any uncles that were in Vietnam? Do you have a grandpa? Do you know somebody that's older than you? That, yeah, of course you do. So again, every man in every generation of man has seen war. So to think that we're now not, and we're on the imminent possibility of World War III, to think that we're not is asinine. But so many Americans are so used to convenience. It's so convenient to go grab the thing and just throw it in the microwave.
It's not even that long ago. I mean, I said I'm from Sweden, but I think that it was around, like when I was about 18, every guy had to join the military. And then it kind of like faded away after that and it started becoming optional. But I was like, my dad, I remember he's been an athlete his whole life. He had to do the most extreme bullshit in the military. And I remember he would tell me the stories. He was like, I didn't want to do that. But like, you didn't have a choice. You just freaking do that. And actually speaking about the cold, so we were out today and these days, like it, it can be cold, but I'm fine. But the reason why I come from Sweden, it gets really freaking cold during the winter. And the reason I always wanted to live in the heat is because I had freaking itis shit in my whole body. I've always had joint discomfort in my entire body, and being in the cold is you become just unfunctional because it hurts so bad in the joints that I couldn't do anything. So my dream was, I'm going to move somewhere where it's hot because then I won't have to suffer all of the time. And then came over here. So I moved first I lived in New York for a little bit, realized that I'm not going to make it through. I literally thought my first year in New York that I was not going to make it through the winter. That's how much I suffered. Then I was like, I need to get out of here. I need to move to Florida. So I moved to Florida, and the 6 years I was there was actually the least painful 6 years of my life. And I was like, okay, I am just meant to be in the heat. That's what it is. I'm probably freaking allergic to the cold, yada, yada, yada. Fast forward now, it's cold here, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't still mean I love the cold though. But it doesn't bother me and I can still use my body, because if I would be in the cold before, my knees would not function. I would have to wrap my knees. I wore like knee sleeves every single day if I was going to go outside because my knees would stop working.
What's been really cool
oh, go ahead, Joel.
I was going to say what's been really cool is just we're in the awakened time. Corey and Casey means doing the Joe Rogan podcast, doing Tucker Carlson, talking about the big pharma industry, like everybody's waking up to it now, which puts us in the perfect position to offer solutions because so many people are looking for solutions. And what better way to offer a solution? Because people buy from you because they know, like, and trust you. People buy from you because they know, like, and trust you. Well, Maax now has introduced this to hundreds of people that I don't know, but have had benefit in their own lives, and are so grateful for her and are so grateful for me because she heard about it by watching an interview that I did with Alex Jones. She was the only person, though, to hear it. I had a lot of people order that week. Some people stayed on it. Some people didn't. But she's the one that took it and said, I heard what he said. Acemannan, saving children, being able to lower inflammation. Her ears were open. And because she stuck with it, she's now helped so many people, and they're so thankful for her. And that is influencer marketing. That's real influencer marketing. Because influence is the currency of the future. People buy from you because they know they can trust you. So many people bought from Logan Paul, and then come to find out he's selling them bullshit. Does he really care about you? I looked at my buddy Skunkle Phil, and I got mad at him because I was trying to talk to him for 3 months because I knew he was dying, and I'm like, bro, you need to do this. I can't be nice to you anymore. I love you, but if you don't listen to what I'm saying when I know that this can help you, bro. You want to know, every time I see him, he gets choked up, teared up. Last week, we rode our Harley Davidsons that we got through doing some work together that he wouldn't have been able to do 2 years ago. We wouldn't have been able to do the work that we needed to do. It was some drywall work to get these in exchange for some Harleys. Took us one or 2 days. We wouldn't have been able to do that. And that was a memory that we got to share. And every time he sees me, he's grateful and he cries and he gets choked up. She's seen it. He'll get teared up just talking about me. We've done a bunch of lives. He has no shame in that because he's like, you saved my life. And I knew I didn't save his life. The food that God gave us saved his life. I got this information and I said, there's not any way. After I heard Sam Castor's story about wanting to save the world's children, I'm a put up or shut up type person. I'm going to go for it all and find a solution. Like, I hated people arguing growing up. It's just like, bro, shut up. He's saying this, you're saying this. You both are pretty much saying the same thing, but you look at, shut up. I'm always the solution guy. Like, that's just who I've been. Bible boy. Got to lead people to Jesus. That was my nickname growing up. I had to lead people to Jesus. Couldn't let people go to hell. Couldn't let my friends go to hell. Hey, do you know about Jesus? No, bro. Let's talk. Joel, just stop. Don't. He's not interested. Bro, do you want him to go to hell? Like, that was it. It's solutions. So if I heard a way to save the world's children and give people the most researched natural molecule on the planet that they probably never heard of, that will probably help all of the problems that they have, why wouldn't I open my mouth and share it? You don't think I felt the way trying to tell my friends about something? Absolutely. But now I got friends saying, Joel, thank you so much. I got people that he inspires now to get healthier. He's inspired to. His son being one of them. His son just posted a picture today. Looks incredible. And he used to not have a very incredible story. Substance abuse, all this stuff. He's now the healthiest he's ever been. Just had a baby girl and is loving life, loving it, and looks phenomenal. Shout out Dan. Okay, Dan Gaynor, what's up? So yeah, there's just, when everybody and hopefully when you hear those stories, it makes you trust me more. We have been being lied to for so long, and the entire time we've been lied to. The reason I have a platform is because I don't like to lie. Because there's too much of this. I'm a solution guy, right? So when it's simple, it's true. When it's complicated, it's a lie. Our science proves what we say. Our science proves not this science. Real science. Does this lower inflammation at a cellular level by 47% in at least 9 days? Yes, we can say that because that's why they did the research. Right. We can bet. Now you can trust that. Go get your blood work done. If you get your blood work done.
Oh, he did.
Exactly. Yeah. If you get your blood work done and you actually do the knowledge and it doesn't do what we said it did, then complain. Then tell me it doesn't work. Some people will be like, oh, well, I didn't feel anything. You've had 14 years of inflammation in your body and you expected something to work in 30 days. I have an incredible story, but guess what? My body reacts to things like this. If I eat the wrong foods and a bunch of sugar, I'm going to get a cold sore. Why? Because my body goes into shock mode. That's just what happens. That's how my body has been programmed because of the food. Okay? So I know that. And I'm guessing it's because it's a sugar overload, right? That's lowering my ability to defend itself, which is science. So if I now have a way to build my immune system back up and increase stem cell production, by up to 400% naturally from one molecule found in food. That makes so much more sense than grabbing the bottle full of, hey, this is going to happen to you. This is going to, you're going to be shitting yourself. You're probably going to have hives. Instead of that, why wouldn't I do this one thing? Guaranteed, science is real.
No
Oh, by the
toxicity.
way, it's food. What?
And no toxicity.
And no
This is
toxicity.
my
No
fourth
side
week.
effects.
Yeah.
Well,
Why not
I
do
wanted to
that?
I wanted to ask Carrie because you've been on it what now, 3 weeks?
Yeah. So I did blood work for
And
inflammation,
tell
and
them
my
about
inflammation was like,
your
green,
healing
yellow,
with
red.
your
Mine is
inflammation
in the
because
red.
you have high
And I feel it
inflammation
in my
or
body.
had.
I mean, my knees, my hips, I would wake up in the middle of the night from hip pain, especially after I had our second baby. So hormones all over the place, just lots of inflammation. I've been inflamed for, oh gosh, probably like 15 years, just from like, poor eating, bad lifestyle, toxic environment, all the things. And just in taking it for like 2.5 weeks, I was telling Michael, and we talked about it on the podcast, maybe like what, a week ago. I noticed just in the first 2 weeks, walking up the stairs, my knees don't, I have a knee that clicks really bad from inflammation. And the grinding that I would hear in my knee walking up the stairs is almost gone completely. And I used to count the stairs as I would walk up the stairs, like, oh, I only have, this many stairs left because the pain was so bad in my right knee. And now I don't have that pain in my right knee. I hear a little bit of that grinding still, but it's significantly better. I don't wake up in the middle of the night with pain. Like it would wake me up out of a dead sleep. Hip pain, just shoulder pain from sleeping the wrong way. My elbows, anytime I would do any kind of dumbbell strength training, my elbows were just in pain all the time. So I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to strength train. I would tell Michael, I don't want to squat. It hurts my body. I don't want to, I'll just go on the stationary bike or walk on the treadmill. Like I didn't want to strength train because it hurt my joints so bad. Both times I was pregnant, I had really bad joint pain in my wrists, like carpal tunnel. And just being on these supplements, like I can walk up the stairs. I was squatting over 100 pounds in the garage the other day. I'm doing stuff that I haven't done since I was in high school when I used to play volleyball. So it's amazing the way that I feel. I can get out of bed in the morning and my knees don't hurt. I used to, even getting out of bed, you make the groaning pains and, I'm like, oh, this is going to hurt me standing up because my knees were killing me all the time. I don't have that anymore. And it makes me emotional. Yeah, it makes me,
Look at Joel's grin.
This is so if you said
So wait. Watch this. You don't know how happy this story makes me. And here's what I want to say. I have to say this, and I'm mad that I have to say this. Alovea cannot treat, heal, or cure any disease in your body. We can't do any of that. The products can't treat, heal, or cure your body. But what we can do is we can help the body lower inflammation naturally at a cellular level.
Thank you.
And boost stem cell production. Isn't it crazy that I have to say that? Because that was beautiful. I am so happy for you, Carrie. That is awesome. You deserve that. That's the life that you should have been living for a long time. But because we can't say words like pain, because the medical industry owns the word pain, and they can shut down our company if they wanted to because we use the word pain when we actually have a way to help heal your pain. So we have to be very careful as to how we talk about pain, and we actually probably can't even use those words when talking about, and notice how we haven't said any product names. We keep saying betalains and acemannan. The reason why we have to do that is so we protect our company from said agencies who might be behind the reasons why people have a lot of these issues. So I love that story, and you inspired me as you were talking, and here's how. we're going to make a viral clip more than likely out of that. Because in my mind, as you were talking and I'm listening to all the times you said pain, and I'm just like, how can I help her tell that story to the world without with us keeping it compliant? And I just imagine like a 3-tiered TikTok. Your guy's story up here, Skunkle Phil's story here, maybe our friend Lonnie's story down here, and it's grayed out when you're not talking. And every time you talk and say some pain, I cut to a little promo and go, we don't treat, heal, or cure anything. We can't sit here. Our products don't do anything. And then every time you hear the and it's going to be a little duck sound or something like that. Every time you hear the she's saying discomfort. She's not saying what rhymes with rain. And so we're going to do that. It's going to be fucking hilarious. And your story deserves to be heard by everybody because, hear me out. Isn't it so amazing? You're on it a month and that's your story. I have never once met you and never once have I tried to sell you something. But because Maax saw my interview and felt my heart and my intention of wanting to help someone hear the message that I'm trying to tell them, you found a way to lower inflammation naturally and help yourself out of discomfort. Isn't that so incredible? And you found a solution yourself. I never had to sell you anything. You didn't meet me. You probably saw something that she posted, and now here you are and your life's changed. Bingo. And so that's the whole thing. Everybody is afraid. You said, people look at you like you have two heads on because they think you're trying to sell them something. And that's the whole. I am such a good talker. I am such a good salesman. I am such a good entertainer. I know this. You know what I mean? I know this. And then so people go, is it real? Yeah, it is. It's not me. The reason I have to be this is literally because when I saw Sam Castor's story, I told myself I had to fight and become everything that I could be. The biggest entertainer that I could be. The biggest athlete, musician, content creator, whatever that was, I had to go all in with it all. Why? To save the children, to get this message out there.
And if he didn't have such a good heart, he would probably be world famous.
Oh, God.
Yeah. If I wasn't doing this, I could actually focus 100%.
He's probably one of the best singers I've ever heard.
You could be at a Diddy party or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would beat all of them.
Hey, respectfully, at one point in time in my life, I had the opportunity to be able to sell my catalog to the same people that supposedly had Beyonce's catalog, and they were asking for essentially all of my publishing. And because I had somebody who looked out for me 12 years ago, he looked at me and said, Joel, don't sign this contract. This is a slave contract. This is how they get you roped in. Thank God I didn't do that. I am so grateful I didn't do that. They would have owned all my earlier catalog, which to me, now looking back, is some of my most iconic music that built the style that I have now that people appreciate. So again, everything works out the way it is. And I'm so grateful that this is my story. I'm so grateful that because I decided to ride down on my little motorcycle, 750 Yamaha Virago from Minnesota in November, in middle of November, 27 degrees, rain, sleet, and snow by the time I hit Kansas City from South Dakota. I wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be having this story, because of the children. Because of Sam Castor, because of the ability and the opportunity to be able to change someone's life with this information. Thank you for you and helping me live out my intention. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I am so grateful. You have no idea. Now what happens when we take this and we can bring it to the rest of the world when they're asking for a solution? We win. We save the world's children. How big could that story be? I've simply been trying to tell the story, and now you guys are part of it. Yes. And you're early. You're early in the game.
The
kids
cool
have story been, there. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Maax. No, you go ahead, Maax.
I said you said like before that, sometimes somebody might take something and then they say, oh, this isn't working. So I have a very cool story from my sister that I actually posted on my Instagram a few days ago. My sister, I'm very proud of her. She has never wanted to put her face on a camera ever. My sister has been sick for pretty much her entire life. She's 35 now. So she has autism, bipolar disorder, ADHD, carpal tunnel syndrome, the list just goes on. And at some point, I tell her about this product. I've been trying to help my sister and my mother for a decade, and they never really wanted to listen to me. When I was young, my family was very much about the holistic way. My mom would never really take us to the doctor or give us medication. So that's how I'm raised, which I'm very thankful for. But then fast forward, my mom got very, very sick, to the point where I guess, out of fear, you start going to the doctor, right? And the same with my sister, we get to a level of illness that you're too scared to try to fix it yourself. So both of them have been trapped in the medical system. They've been on tons of medications. My sister was on about 9 medications now, and basically just hates her life pretty much, and pain everywhere and all this stuff. So I sent product to her. Obviously I bought her product, I sent it to her. She took it for 3 months because I sent her 3 months worth of product, the integrative health bundle. And I didn't know that after, I didn't keep track properly. So she ran out. She used the 3 months. She ran out and didn't tell me that she ran out. So she stopped taking it, because also the Swedish currency right now is really bad. So for a Swedish person to order our product is right now way more expensive than it should be because of the currency exchange. So she didn't order it. And then I get a text one morning. I wake up and it said, "Hi, I just wanted to let you know that I stopped taking the product a week ago. And because I didn't think it was actually really helping me," she said, "but today I woke up and my hands hurt so bad. I can't move my fingers. They're swelled up. I don't even, she couldn't even hold something." And she said, "I don't think I realized that I didn't have that anymore." And because I guess it was just getting a little bit better every day, to the point where the hand discomfort and swelling was completely gone, but she didn't think about it being gone until suddenly it was all back again. And she said, "Well, I just want to let you know, well, the good thing is I believe you now." She said. So she's like, "I think it actually worked." So for a lot of people, that might be the scenario, that it's just getting a little bit better every day, that it's just kind of creeping up on you. It was the same with me. I just went from having the worst discomfort in my knees to suddenly realizing that, wait, there's none of it left, and it doesn't happen overnight.
I tell people, give us 90 days. Skunk will tell you every time, Joel said, give me 90 days and I'll change your life. And I always break it down to people. Your body is pretty much new every 90 days in one way, shape, or form. I believe it's the liver that grows back every 90 days. So if you have a new liver every 90 days, let's just say that was the thought. I'm not saying that's the thing, because I'm not going to be able to check that, and that if you can fact check that later, right? So let's say that was the case. Why are there 90-day transformations? P90X. Beachbody 90-day challenge. Why? Because everything becomes new, essentially. Skin cells, all of that. If you're lowering cellular inflammation naturally every day, and then you're pumping your body full of stem cells naturally, you're essentially increasing stem cell production naturally by up to 400%. You do those two things. You're now doing what Tony Robbins calls de-aging. He says the next trillion-dollar industry in his new book, Life Force, is going to be the de-aging industry. So I need everybody to think real quick. Tony Robbins is a financial guru, money master of the game, phenomenal book. He's life coach some of the biggest people on the planet, billionaires, to certain levels of success. He's saying that the next trillion-dollar industry is the de-aging industry, and does the things that we do with betalains and acemannan naturally. And the best part is, we're a social benefit corporation. So when we help the world, we help the world. So you join us, you share this mission with other people, and it can benefit you. Some people say, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. No, a pyramid scheme is this. A pyramid scheme is the last 40 years that some people worked and then got their pensions taken away and then given to illegal immigrants to live in hotels in New York. Okay? That is a pyramid scheme. This is, I help them feel better. It benefits me. Hear me as I say that again, because some of you listen to doctors who haven't helped you out for a very, very long time. I help them. I get rewarded financially based off of the ripple effect that I started. Some of you just elected Donald Trump. Did you know Donald Trump is a proponent of network marketing? Did you know YouTube is a billion-dollar company off of subscribers and people telling other people about things? Amazon became a billion-dollar company off of the referral system and also the review system. Hey, does this work? Why do you buy from Amazon? Because all the public reviews and all the ratings and everybody saying, yeah, this is a good one. Hey, this is a good one right here. Hey, do you make money from that? Hey, do you make money from that? Hey, do you save children from that? No? Then I don't give a fuck what you do in your life. Respectfully, I'm going to get mine off of helping people, saving lives, and saving children. And by helping people actually feel better and get healthier. Do you see how happy she was when she was telling her story? And how passionately she was trying to relay that information? Genuinely? How many people have had genuine conversations lately? Not too many. I want to have genuine conversations and be around genuine people. I can't do the mundane. I can't sit here and have people talk about whatever their life is, whatever the gossip is, when I know that somebody like my coach or people are hurting and I can help them. But they might just think I'm trying to sell them something. It's been the last 10 years of my life, the hardest thing. But we're here now and the world is ready. And that's why it's so awesome. It's so awesome. Maax looked at me and she's like, I just want to get my family on this. Yesterday we were talking. She's like, I'm so happy that I got my family on this.
My mom.
And that's the story.
We're in the process of working it through our families too. We got my dad, my mom, some of her family members. Because they're seeing the results that we are proving to them. Like, hey, look, I got off.
Yeah, my mom.
I told you, Joel, a couple
my
weeks
mom,
ago. I was on TRT
she
for 8
struggles
months.
with
I got off
some
all that
depression,
stuff.
anxiety stuff she has for many, many years. She struggles with fibromyalgia. She's had back surgeries, knee surgeries, and she just she's in pain all the time, and yeah. And she's just, she moved here and she's like, I want to be able to move with the grandkids. I want to be able to live my life. I want to be able to move. I want to be able to not be in pain. I want to not walk hunched over when I get up in the morning. I want to enjoy the rest of my life. And so when we told her about this, her biggest goal, now she recently lost about 35 pounds just with diet. No exercise, just like, movement throughout the day, but no like gym training, nothing like that. Which is great that she got the 35 pounds down. She feels great just from that. But she has these chronic issues that she's been on prescriptions for 25 plus years. And, we're in a place now in society where she's seen like, these prescriptions are there, and the doctors and the merry-go-round, this doctor, go to this doctor, go to this doctor, you're put on this prescription for this, and then there's a side effect for this, and all the things. And she's seeing it, and she's finally opened up her eyes. I think that whole generation of skepticism and you're a conspiracy theorist and you're you guys don't know what you're talking about. I've gone to the doctor my whole life and, I feel great on my prescriptions. And no, you don't. You feel like shit. You're not getting better. You're going from doctor to doctor. And she's finally in a place. Yeah. And she's finally in a place now where she trusts us and what we're doing. And she's excited to start, which makes me so happy. I just don't want to see her go through more surgeries, be in pain, She's in her early 60s. I want her to
Yeah.
enjoy. We have longevity genes in my family. My
Yeah.
grandparents were in their early 90s when they passed, and she has 30 years left in her life, and I want her to enjoy every minute of it. Yeah.
Probably more.
What happens when you look de-aging? Bingo. I mean, again, have we really seen the full potential of humankind? What was it? Stanley, I think it was Robert Stanley or Stanley Myers built the water car in the early, I think it was, I don't remember what the date was, but he built a water car, and then essentially the government potentially poisoned him as he took a drink as he was meeting with some investors. He screamed out, "They're poisoning me." He falls over. They confiscate all of his real man. Okay, built a water. How much technology is there out that we just don't know about? That we just
A
haven't
lot.
discovered yet. Stephen Greer, if anybody's familiar with Stephen Greer, unacknowledged documentary. They're talking in 2017 in this documentary that he has known about, UFOs and all of this technology that we've had for years. It's kind of, I'm sure, foreign for some
100%.
to even think about there being something that naturally lowers inflammation at a cellular level by up to 47% in 9 days.
Right.
But doesn't it make perfect sense when
Yeah.
you think about it? Because back in the days, there was
Right.
no freaking medication or modern medication.
Yes, but
And
so many people are
didn't-
indoctrinated.
Yes. But
Into-
then also all of these diseases didn't even exist either.
Yes. Bingo. So again, all of this sounds so foreign to many, and very, very soon, it's just going to be common knowledge. I mean, now everybody is sharing conspiracy videos. And when I started doing videos 4 years ago during COVID and Black Lives Matter, and I was a black man talking about Black Lives Matter as a scam up in George Floyd town during his, death, and people are looking at me like, "You insensitive bitch." Like, I'm just seeing through it, and I'm just like, "Oh man, here we go." And everybody's like, "You crazy conspiracy theorist," when I'm saying that, hey, this probably has something called mRNA in it. Don't do it. And lo and behold, it's all there, right? And now everybody, to get their channel going, is doing what? Conspiracies. Ninjas Are Butterflies is now one of the #1 conspiracy theory channels. Why? Because they sat around talking about conspiracies and then blowing up on TikTok and just educating people on things that people, I'm sure, like me and even that have been doing it longer than me, have been talking about for years. That's common knowledge. You're just educating the masses. Well, guess what? It's not going to be a conspiracy. It's not going to be misinformation. That our science does what we say it does. Our science does what we say it does. And that's why everybody is having a result. The athlete, Skunkle Phil, who was doing drugs majority of his life and was damn near dead when I met him, to you, to Maax, to puppies, to your pet. Why? Because it's food. We all eat the same food when it's food. I can put an apple in front of a dog and it will take a bite. Some
To
will.
babies.
You put watermelon out. What chickens love watermelon? Okay, you go into the food and you find the thing that God gave it to make it special for you. And we all win.
We need to figure out a way to get with RFK and Callie and Casey Means and get them
I already
going
have.
on.
That's a manifestation. It's a manifestation. Jimmy Levy, what's up? Jessica Sutta, what's up? Those are my friends. Jessica Sutta is a former Pussycat doll. Jimmy Levy is a friend. He told me about his mom, having some issues, and I mentioned the product to him. So here's the thing. I have to tell everybody about this because let's say you came to me, now that I know. It's like what I felt when I was a Christian. Not to say that I don't believe in Jesus now, all right? Like, that's not to say it. But when I was a practicing. I wanted to be a pastor, Christian, and lead everybody to Jesus. My nickname was Bible Boy. I couldn't not help but share the message because I didn't want my friends to lose their soul. So if that's the case, in the same regard, if I know you're hurting and I know I have a potential solution, because every human can benefit from lowering cellular inflammation and boosting stem cell production naturally. We can all benefit from that. I don't care what anybody says. And the science is the science, and we've proven it. And so now we just need enough people to share the information. And in Jimmy Levy's case, and Jessica, I know she was taking the product for a while. I'm not sure if she still is. I know I've talked to her because we had a friend, Shannon Kroner, who had an amazing result because of what she says was a injury. And, Jessica is an advocate for injury, and we've heard some pretty incredible stories in our own circle of people who have had some amazing things happen for them after some of this came out. And so I shared it with Jessica, and I had to, regardless of if they still do it, regardless of if we tell them, and then how many people that she told, she always comes to me, and I told them, but then they just didn't get back to me. I don't know why. Nobody wants to do it. I just don't understand. No, I tell them about it, and then they complain about it the next day. And it's just like, yes, I know, but that's just where we're at. And someday you will never be able to look at me. Because you know how many people have told me, oh, Joel's just trying to sell us something again. Oh, he's being a salesman. He's just being really good at what he does. No, I'm really good at what I do because I mean what I say. I come on here, I do what I do, and I mean what I say because I want the best for you. I have children. I want the best for my children. I want the best for our world. Why? Because that matters. It matters because we see what mental health is doing, and a lot of mental health could be fixed through food, through healing. Your brain starts in your gut if you didn't know that. Have you ever ate something and you didn't feel good? Could you do anything the rest of the day? Were you happy? Did you feel good? Hey, what if feeling good was a proponent of feeling good? And the way to feel good was to find ways to feel better. What if that was the case? And we have ways to do it naturally. You eating food. Dr. Sebi helped heal how many people through food? It's food. It's what God gave us. We're going back to God. That's what's happening. We're going back to source and real information. When it's simple, it's true. When it's complicated, it's a lie. Take the fucking betalain pill. It's one ingredient and it does one thing.
It does many things.
Well, it does many things, but I'm just saying, it helps lower inflammation. Just do that.
Yep.
Feel better.
I want to touch base on the kid stuff, on what's saving the children, because everything that we know in our society with what's going on with the 3-letter agencies and Israel and all the child sex trafficking and the Epstein list and the Diddy shit and all that crap. Children are under fire right now. So I was telling somebody about this product. I said, I got somebody to purchase, and I said, look, this is going to lower inflammation.
Right.
It's going to it's going to help your gut health. You have to put the work in. You still got to, eat healthy. You got to eat clean. You got to do physical activity every day. Yeah.
Don't be an asshole.
And I said, you save every purchase that you make, you'll save, you'll donate servings to a child.
Yeah.
And
It's one
he was
serving
like, oh
for
man,
one serving.
Yeah. He's like, man, that's awesome. And I said, it is awesome. I said, I thought about it last week. I said, it's really cool. You don't realize it, but you're becoming part of something bigger than yourself.
And I got to go meet them.
Yep. And you get to go meet them, and you get to help these children when they're being essentially crucified by their own governments and all the horrible things that all these Zionist people are doing across the world to these children. I remember reading a couple months ago before we moved to Florida, they found a shipping container full of kids' body parts overseas, coming. I don't know where it was going.
Yeah.
But these people are doing absolutely horrible things to children, and it's our job as God loving Americans to save these children. So
I
anytime
might
that you have an
cuss.
opportunity
Do
to
it.
buy this product, go ahead. Anytime that you have an opportunity to buy this product, you will be able to save children all across the world.
I might cuss.
Do it. I curse
I
all the
might.
time.
No, I'm just saying. As personally, I might cuss. I might not be everybody's cup of tea. I might not say everything that people agree with. I might not be the most likable person. I might be very polarizing and intense. However, I know my mission is pure. I have children. And when I heard Sam Castor's story, I said I had to be a part of the solution. I am a solutionist. And I felt as he was talking that God gave me an opportunity because I was adopted. We talked about Michael Chandler earlier, and I said I was adopted. Sam Castor adopted some of his children, all of them. And that touched me because I always felt like God had a plan for me. I am a solutionist. Why am I here? Why did my mom pick the parents that I have now? She could have aborted me. And when Sam Castor was telling his story, I just said, I have to be the one or one of one to save the children because I was giving the chance of life as a child. How many of these children aren't given an opportunity or a chance at life? And when I look at my children, I do everything for them because I want them to be able to experience their highest potential. And they can do that in a world of everyone striving to be their highest potential. You know, in many regards, China is looked at as a communist state, and I've talked about that before, and it does atrocities to its people. But notice how they promote only the best things that come out of there. I think that the world can look at the positives. I think we can. I just think that we haven't. And my world for the future, when I envision it, is one of positivity and truth and love and light, and a world that no child gets hurt. Because
Yep.
I have children. If I don't do anything, who am I? Who am I to them? You know how cool it is going to be? You know, that some people, and the reason I had to say what I said earlier, some people might not like me and tell my story for me, how they believe that they can. But no one will be able to deny when we get 7 million people on this, when we get 3 million people on this program, taking 2 servings or more of our product line, we will effectively reach the 7 million children dying every year from malnutrition. Malnutrition, outside of maybe satanic ritual abuse, is the number one destroyer and killer of children. So we go after the number one problem. I am a solutionist. We go after the number one problem children are facing worldwide, malnutrition, and we give them the acemannan. And we
Mhm.
help them do what you're doing. Because as you do unto yourself, so you do unto others. I have to help the children because I don't want anything to happen to mine. And who am I to be a hypocrite? That's why I fight. You think do you think I hate fighting? I'm really good at it. I believe I'm going to be the best in the world at it. I believe that people are going to know me as the best in the world at it very, very soon. And I stake everything on it. That's why I stuck everything on it. And I stuck everything on it for this mission. And now here we are with another influencer. And here we are with other people who want to make change, telling their
Mhm.
stories of how this is impacting them. And we are all saving children. This is the hope movement. And hope is light to those in darkness.
It's amazing. I mean, I got 2 sons, so I'll do everything in my power. More is caught than taught. And my sons see everything that I do. They see
Bingo.
the way that I treat my wife. They see that I'm in the gym lifting weights. They see that I work late trying to build a business. They see all the things that I do. They see how I treat other people. They see how I manage this, I'm building this podcast. They see how I'm trying to build a trucking company. My sons see everything that I do. They see every move that I make, and they want to do everything that dad does.
Yes.
And it's important that I take that not only in my household, but I also be an example for kids all across the world by healing my body, because I'm no use to nobody if I'm not at my full potential. If I'm
May I
not
be an
running.
example?
Yep.
May I be an example of possibilities? That was my mantra. When I first started this whole thing, one of my prayers and one of my most consistent prayers over the last 10 years has been, may I be an example of possibility. I want to become the 1% to give back to the 99. I want to
Mm-hmm.
live off of 1% of my income and donate the rest and still be abundant and still be rich and change this entire thing. If this is a $1 trillion industry and I'm one of the reasons that more people heard about this than anyone else, and I am rewarded financially, I will have enough to be able to give, as will you, as will she. I want to be able to live off of 1% of my income and still do all the things that I want to do. And I found out that I can live with less. And guess what? When you're living a nice, clean lifestyle, that's what you're doing anyways. You're only
Mm-hmm.
putting in what you need. Our products, when people figure it out, and our technology is something everybody could use.
Also, when you actually
No,
become
I'm fine. I'm fine.
healthy,
Carrie,
and
hold
I
on.
had somebody.
Hold on
Go
one
ahead.
second, Max. I'm sorry. Carrie has to exit real quick. You're
Okay.
gonna.
He
Okay.
is.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Max. I
You're good.
apologize.
Well, when you
That's a good husband right there.
Yeah, we talk a lot
He
about
is.
relational
I've seen
stuff on
him.
our
But you
podcast
should
too.
do. I'm sure you guys do it, but you should talk about that. You just said that my son see how I treat my wife. I'm sure you guys talk about it, but you should more.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So I actually had somebody ask me today, and they said, "Are you rich?" I said, "Well, what do you think that means?" And then she's like, "What? Do you have a lot of money?" And I said, "Well," and then I told her my entire story, which I can just do a quick story out of it. Well, I used to make a lot of money. I used to have sports cars. I used to have a fancy ass apartment in Miami. I used to even support another person, and even to the point where I never really used to look at my bank account, which is something I haven't really done in about 15 years. I never really look at the account. I don't look at price tags unless I buy something like a car or something. I just got used to that lifestyle and not even realizing how much money I was making until I did my taxes once and just like, whoa. Okay, and we're like, fast forward to now is like my life is so cheap. Back then I had a lot of health issues. I was spending so much money on just all kinds of stuff to maintain everything. I even said last year when I competed for my world title, I spent about $5,000 a month on rehab and people to just help me get through the training for that stage. This entire year I have paid for a chiropractor session one time, and it's November now. Like, food is cheaper, just like supplementation is cheaper. I don't use much more than just the acemannan and betalains and diasterin and whatnot. I don't really use much more stuff. I never have any real issues I have to deal with. I have acemannan hair now. I don't spend $1,000 every 3 months on hair extensions, which I used to do. And just like a lot of things, life gets so cheap. I've stopped using shampoo and all this stuff. I use these tallow products. I don't buy skincare products. I don't buy makeup products. I even now looking into switching out my fabric. That's the next step. I'm trying to wear as much cotton as I can, but just stop buying all this polyester and synthetic bullshit. And when you really start to think about it, it's I don't fucking cost anything. I just get rid of my nice car and went and bought a truck, just cashed a truck. So now I have no car payments. And I love that truck more than my other car. Yeah, and I have a big house in Vegas that I rented out. Now I live here in the gym, and I have actually a really nice apartment that I like very much in this gym for almost no money.
Once you become conscious of how you live, you become conscious in every waking moment with every decision that you make.
Okay.
I now drink distilled water. I'm now aware of everything. If they have the fluoride and all, I don't know what these filters are doing, so I might as well distill it and might as well hydrogenate it myself. Less is more. Less is always more. And that's what you start to figure out here. And it's really been fun watching her have less. It's been really fun. I'm a minimalist. People come in here, they say, this is what you have? Yep, absolutely. I have what I need.
And the funny thing is, your home is more home than a lot of places I've been. Because I've been to a lot of rich people homes. And one thing, I went to an event earlier this year and I walked into this house and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful house. But I actually asked somebody, is this their house or is this like just a rental property they rented for this party? And she's like, no, they live here. And I was like, ooh, that was all I was thinking. There's nothing in this entire house that feels like home.
Well, there's nothing in a lot of people that feel like anything now. And that's the point. People don't know how they feel. They feel bad, so they don't know how else to feel. And if you can help people feel better, feel good, and you yourself know what I didn't know what feeling good was until I got on this technology. I had no idea. Growing up wrestling at the University of Minnesota, you're always sore. You learn how to deal with it. I played football. You learn every week you got a game. Probably going to be a little banged up from something, but you learn how to deal with it. To wake up after a fight and not be sore, to be able to train 5 days a week and still be able to go and have more, it's kind of insane. So what do we really know but this is the point I was trying to make earlier about the de-aging. Do we really know our potential? We got this dude going on Tucker Carlson, taking his son's whatever stuff and injecting it in him so he can de-age. And, why not just take this acemannan pill? Yep. Why not just take the acemannan pill instead of sucking the life force from your sons? That kind of sounds like what they do in Hollywood and Hollywood, and I'm not about that.
We're just trying to make make a nice story.
I'm not about having fetal tissue in vaccines and having
adrenochrome.
Hey, it's just God gave us everything that we need in our body. That's why our gut is built that way. Brainmaker, the book, is a great book. If you haven't read Brainmaker, you should go read that. Our gut is everything. Okay, so if you just have a bunch of inflammation in your gut.
Oh, I used to.
Irritable bowels. You got some irritable bowels going on. You got
IBS my whole life.
Yeah, you find a way to get to the solution, and the solution is always lowering inflammation and pumping your body naturally full of stem cells any way that you can. Go read the book, Tony Robbins' Life Force. If you have not, phenomenal book. You just have to read the first chapter and he'll break it all down for you. And then when you realize that, and you realize that this is a next $1 trillion industry and it's literally all about longevity. Hey, if we can live longer, that probably means more reoccurring sales longer. So what is the longevity of what is the de-aging industry if it's projected to be a $1 trillion industry? And if you have the food technology that nobody else has, where do you think that positions you in the marketplace? And do we have something that could not only save the world's children, but maybe revolutionize the way that everybody does business moving forward? Just like how everybody now, children, aspire to be influencers and content creators. Everybody aspires to do a podcast. Why? Because it's passive income, all from sitting at home in the convenience of your own space in your own energy and being able to still connect with others. That and get paid for it and get paid for the amount of people you impact. What do we do?
But the difference here is that you might get some little comments saying, oh, thank you for saving my life.
And the difference here, the difference here is the product is you helping somebody feel better.
Right.
Everybody is selling their little coffees. Does your coffee help your body produce more stem cells? No. Drink this one. Does your coffee help people save children? No. Drink this one. Hey, you want to talk energy? Drink our energy. Drink our energy drink. Why? Because it actually increases cellular energy, adenosine triphosphate, naturally by up to 64% without increasing free radicals or lactic acid production. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool instead of pulling from the adrenal and doing all that. Like, let's do the things that we want to do without the adverse effects and get healthier
100%.
every time we do this because we're eating food. It just makes more sense.
Oh, I have a little side note on that. I've been wanting to actually ask Uncle Phil to do a video about it, but I know that some people are using their health insurance to pay for the products. That is apparently possible. So if somebody...
So what if we get these insurance companies to pay back us by helping us pay it forward by taking these products, and then on top of that, we not only save children, but get paid because we help other people hear about this, and your insurance is paying for that. How about that? How about your insurance actually does something that benefits you instead of just taking your money and telling you to fuck off when you make an insurance claim? How about that instead? How about they start paying our health forward, literally? That sounds like a social benefit corporation to me.
Yep.
It's all a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
cycle.
it's time to scam the scammers. Here's how you scam the scammers. Get on Alovea through your insurance. Find a way to make it happen. The research is the research. The science is the science. If Skunkle Phil can do it,
I'm curious.
you can too.
Yes.
How's that for a fucking promo?
I'm actually gonna text Uncle Phil today and ask him to do a little video clip explaining how he does that.
Yeah,
but
I'm
I
really
think that
curious
what he told me is so he buys it and then he gets reimbursed every time for the products. That's what he told me. So I'm gonna ask him to do a little video about it.
So you gotta call your insurance.
How about this? You get your doctor started. You get your doctor started and have him pay you for helping him get healthier. Yep. That's what you do.
We got some stories like that.
Yeah.
People like I have a friend, our friend Joshua and Roxy, that had crazy allergies. So he had COVID, pneumonia, and asthma and whatever, and she had asthma like 11 years, and the son too. And so he was fine in about 2 weeks. Got his smell back from COVID. Stopped using inhalers, so it was like $700 a month. But then she was on, I don't know, like 11 medications, whatever she said. So she had gone back to her doctor for checkup appointment for refill. So she gets to the doctor, and this is a woman that will be like, if she doesn't take the medication, she's not gonna live. And she said, hi, I'm not gonna need a refill. And her doctor looked at her. What do you mean? She's like, no, I'm not going to need them. I haven't been taking them. And she just looks there, was like, no, I don't understand.
But how are you getting healthy on your own? Hey, wait. Hey, I'm a doctor. Yeah, you can't get healthy on your own. Your body's not designed to get healthier on your own. You got to take these prescriptions so I can get paid.
Yep.
Wait.
How dare you come back to me with that side?
Oh, but if I help Skunkle Phil feel better and help him save himself through food technology and eat the food and feel better and save kids, that's a big deal. I almost used the R word, and I've been trying to be good. On your show. Yes, absolutely. You all need help. Okay, you all need help, and your help is right here. So help us save kids and get healthy.
Because it's offensive to the people that actually are such a thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Not even as these people are talking about.
Exactly.
If Callie and Casey Means and RFK watch this podcast, they want you to get on their shitty medication, eat their shitty food, go to their shitty doctors, use their shitty insurance, and just be in this hamster wheel for the rest of your life. Just keep you sick enough not to kill you.
We can create a hamster wheel of goodness.
But that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I know what
we're doing.
It's very possible.
I just told you a way. I'm a solutionist. I literally believe we're going to save America through this
the world
company. Do you realize BRICS is a thing? Hey guys, I need to talk to Americans. Hey guys, there's this thing called BRICS. BRICS is essentially here to destroy the dollar. Russia's pissed that we've been sanctioning them, and this is all an illusion, but we're all playing in it. And if you want to play in the illusion that is maritime law on land, then and pay your taxes and do this money thing and not just trade amongst each other and grow food on your own property, and you guys don't want to come together and you want to play this money game and you want to do this government thing that rules over you even though it's bullshit, okay? Play that game. Let me tell you how we can play it together and get out of it here. Okay? I just told you. Skunk found a way to get his insurance companies to pay this. I think it's time that insurance companies pay us back. Yeah. I think if you found a way to get healthier naturally and then save children, I think that this is a way that every American can now participate. You just heard that Skunk gets reimbursed. Everybody likes reimbursements. So, hey, what now if you can share something that everybody needs and get paid for it? Everybody's trying to find the perfect product on their for their TikTok shop. Everybody's trying to find the perfect product for their Amazon referrals. Everybody's trying to find the perfect. Well, guess what? You have a technology that nobody else has that lowers cellular inflammation naturally with one ingredient. And you have something that increases your body's ability to produce more stem cells naturally. No aborted fetuses, no baby juice, just something found in aloe vera and mother's breast milk. And no, you can't just eat the aloe vera to get it. And no, you can't just take the breast milk and get it. Some of you I know have fantasies, but that's not how it works here. Okay? You use science to find the thing that heals the body, and then we give it to you so that when you take it, it does incredible things because that's what it's designed to do. But God said we should use science to figure it out. Okay? That's why it's how God did it, not me. When you take it, you feel better, and then you help somebody else feel better, and then you get paid. If you want to, you don't have to. You don't have to. I can get paid. That's fine by me. I can get paid with a product that nobody else has. Everybody wants to sell the same coffee on Rumble. That's fine. I like Rumble. What's up, guys? I'm one of you. I'm over there. I got kicked off of YouTube before any of you. I was shortly after Alex Jones. Some of you are just catching up. Welcome. Yep, David Icke, Alex Jones, then Kingbau. Why did it have to be that way? Because I'm the chosen one. Okay? So now I have a product that I can sell on my Rumble channel to you that only does good things, which these people that I'm just meeting for the first time on camera are telling me they're incredible stories together. Hey, if you want to have that same impact, then you should hit them up and you should find out how many people you can help and you should figure out how many people you can save and you could figure out how many people and children you can help. Doesn't that sound so much better than sitting in a miserable fucking job? Doesn't that sound so much better? I think so. So why don't you hop on here, connect with like-minded people like they are. I love these people. I just met them. That's pretty cool. All because I wanted to say something on Alex Jones and fight to get this message out there. So you should join the fight, take back control, get your insurance if you can to pay for this. Otherwise, just pay for it. Otherwise, just pay for it because it's good enough to pay for. Here's how you know a good product. Well, let me finish 1 second. This is how you know a product's good. Let me educate because we have to educate. This is how you know a product's good. When you would buy it without having to sell it. I would buy this product without having to sell it. I share it because I want to. And if you're going to pay me to save children and help people, then I'm going to take that. Why? Because what better way to get paid than actually help people? I've had people cry to me and thank me, you saved my... I want that if I want money. I don't want money by hurting people or selling my soul or my butthole to get to where I am. I want to help people righteously. That's righteous. By taking all the criticism and ridicule, I was looked at as someone crazy 4 years ago when I started doing videos. And now people call me a hero. Why? Because I give a fuck and I'm just trying to tell it like it is? Well, how did we get here? We got here because we've been lied to. So if you don't want to be lied to anymore, join the real fight. Help us save children. Feel better because if you don't feel good right now, it's because you've been psyoped and didn't know you had a better option. And now you know you do. Join us.
And for everybody such as myself who told the medical system to go fuck themselves 7 years ago and don't have a health insurance, all you gotta do is refer to a couple of your friends. If you have 3 people ordering, you get $300 worth of products for free every month. And side note, all the money I've made to date in this company, I have taken and bought product for people I love. So whether you want to do this because you want to make it your income, that's perfect. Or if you maybe want to help people you love, I bought products for the whole family. You don't have to, you do it for money like that. Some people say, no, but I don't want to make money. But what if you could just make some extra money and buy it for your family? And now you help your freaking family feel better.
That was a pitch. Maax, that was a pitch. Hey, we just hit all the angles.
We're going to cut this video.
We just hit all the angles. You want to make money? Awesome. You want to help people? Awesome. You want to see how many children you can help? Awesome. You want to have fun? Awesome. We hit all the personality types.
Yep.
Everybody should want to do this.
Fancy sports car, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, here's one of the things. People, they have the blinders on. They'll spend thousands of dollars a month by going to see a doctor for this issue, and then go to this specialist for this issue, and go to all these different specialists for all these different issues. But when you say, hey, this is X dollar amount, and you can buy this product, and it lowers inflammation, and it increases stem cell regeneration, and they're just like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But you'll go listen to this fucking doctor feed you prescription medications and eat shitty food, and you'll spend money on all that crap. You'll go spend hundreds of dollars a month on McDonald's, go to these doctors, use bullshit insurance and all these other things, but you won't figure out a way to most people, they don't want to figure out how to do shit on their own. They want somebody to lead them. They want somebody to tell them. They have to go to a church to see a pastor because they can't figure out and understand that they can build a relationship with God on their own. They can't understand that through some research, they can figure out how to get healthy on their own. They think they have to go to a doctor because we've been brain fed bullshit for 100 years that all these things that we have to do, we need somebody to lead us because most people are sheep and not enough people are leaders.
Some people just want you to hear them complain.
Yeah.
Remember, some people just want you to hear them complain, because Tony Robbins teaches about, I believe, the 7 things that all humans need. And humans need attention and validation. That's what everybody seeks in some form of reality. Whether it's a girl thirst trapping on Instagram, whether it's a man dressing up in a business suit and getting a haircut because he wants people to notice how he looks, it's all for validation and attention. And when we can all just openly say that and understand that, we can now have compassion. I have compassion for the blue-haired lady that says, I just want everybody to understand how I feel. Even though you don't know how you feel, it's okay. It's okay.
Because you don't know what a lot of people don't have a mission, bro. They don't know what their mission is.
They want to feel a part of something. It's okay.
They don't know
I get it.
They don't know who they need to become in order to get where they want to go.
Who you become is whoever helps the most people. Whatever version of you helps the most people and leaves the biggest impact. Because if I had to learn this, I do everything better alone, or so I thought. I am a loner. I love having people around. But maybe that was a defense mechanism. Maybe becoming a loner was a defense mechanism, because ultimately I had to realize, and what I've come to realize is that my gifts are for others. I used to make music in my space by myself, and people would come over and they would be like, Joe, this is incredible. Are you going to put this out? No, this is for me. I kept it. I tucked it. And now people see me on the internet speaking fearlessly. Why? Because I had to heal me. Some people just want to hear them complain. They want to have you listen to them. I always listen to the story in my mind that, oh yeah, this is cool, but I don't know. I was my harshest critic. And now when people listen to me or they listen to my music, they go, wow, he makes a point, because this is how I've always talked in my head. I just didn't think it was special. But no, we all have the opportunity to be an example of possibility. And that is what we allow to flow out from us, as within, so without, as below, or as above, so below. So, what I feel here, I fearlessly give to the world. Now I can change it. Everybody's afraid. That's what the woman is. Hey, you don't. Hey, what she's actually saying is, I'm afraid you don't hear me. I'm afraid I don't matter. The Hope Movement can show you that you do. I now don't have to. When Sam Castor was telling his story about how he was going to save the world's children through a buy one, nourish two model, 7 million people on this product line, 2 servings or more a day, we can reach the 7 million children dying every year from malnutrition. Made sense to me. All of his children are adopted. I'm adopted. I used to pray to God, ask, why am I here? Why? And now, I believe I have an answer to save the world's children. That's what I always wanted to do. When I wanted to share Jesus' gospel, when I wanted to make videos trying to warn people about a new world order, or COVID, or these, it was always because I wanted, in one way, shape, or form, to save God's children. Now I have a tangible, I've always been a solutionist. I've always been a solutionist. I believe I am one to this day. I believe I'm doing exactly what I need to receive everything that I'm supposed to finally answer all the questions I've ever had about myself, my purpose, and my mission by becoming what I need to reach as many people as I can to save the world's children. What if that's all of our story in some way, shape, or form? What if you have a group of people that you're supposed to save, that only your light could save? We see the movies, we see the Marvel movies. We don't want to see Iron Man die. But if he touched children, maybe we do. We don't want to see him die because he helps so many people. Everybody has an opportunity to be a last stand. When they're fighting Thanos, everybody has an opportunity to go out a hero. And to go out a hero, you run straight into the fear. And a lot of people's fear is them. So if you're ready to stop being afraid and journey into the light and become what you are and be light for those in darkness, step forward. The reason I'm called Mr. Influencer to influencers and I dub myself that name is because I wanted to influence other influencers to join me and put their money where their mouth is, because too many people have been putting their money where their mouth is. It's time to reverse that system. It's time to reverse it all. I want to feel your heart. And I want to know that what you're sharing with me is of genuine intention and is actually going to benefit me. And if it's not, shut the fuck up. If you're just trying to sell another product, shut the fuck up. If you're just trying to make money off of the backs of others, shut up and get out of my way. It is now time for the righteous to come forward and change this entire world, because the world needs it. If we don't do it, everybody says, the government. I've been doing videos saying the Jews and all this. And it's entertainment. There's truth in it. But ultimately, guess what? The world is us. And we have the opportunity to be the biggest change maker in our own world when we face our fears. So face yourself if you have to. Get over yourself. Whether that's you getting over drinking, drugs, mental depression, anxiety. Get over all of that in the name of saving children.
Amen.
Take back your health in the name of saving children. And if you can't, why are you here?
Amazing. I wanted to say to the I wanted to say to the minimalist comment that you said earlier, we were talking about that. I wanted to say that once you identify what your mission is as an individual, nothing else matters around you unless you're here to figure out what you're looking for out of this life. The vehicle that I drive has no impact on how I treat my children. The vehicle that I drive has no impact on how I treat my wife. The house that I live in, the square footage of that house has no impact on how I take care of my boys. It has no
Yes.
impact on how I treat my wife. None of that outside stuff matters. The people that you're influencing and the people that you're trying to help, once you identify your mission and you figure out who you need to become in order to help as many people as you want to, everything else around you changes. All the material shit just goes right out the window.
That's the highest version of
I
you.
I have things because I have to run a business, so I have to have like a good computer and shit
Yeah.
because I need to run a successful business, but it doesn't impact the way that I lead people or lead my family or lead my wife or lead my children.
And the
Because
highest
I
version
know
of you deserves that.
exactly.
The highest version of you desires to see yourself how you're supposed to be seen.
Mhm.
And that's also in your eyes. When you look in the mirror, you want to be proud. That's what mirrors are for. You know, they say pride is a sin. I believe it's also a virtue. I believe that the enemy has spinned the idea of pride. Some of you listening are already arguing with me in your own mind, saying, oh, pride is a sin. You haven't even heard what I'm about to say. When we look at those heroes that are willing to give their life for their country, I wanted to be a Navy SEAL at one point in time. And the reason I wanted to be a Navy SEAL is because I felt like I could take pride in the man that I would become to be that. The reason I wanted to wrestle at the University of Minnesota was because I felt like I could take pride in my ability to be able to have the opportunity to wrestle there. Most people are living lives of quiet desperation because they don't take pride in what they do. You don't want to buy a work of someone that doesn't give a fuck about it. If I didn't take any pride in my music, I couldn't play you music that was 10 years old that I feel like could compete with the music from today. I wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to share my heart fearlessly if I wasn't able to take pride. It is okay to love yourself. The biggest lie that has ever been told is that we're not supposed to love ourselves. And a lot of people live lives of quiet desperation because they're working on self-love. And I understand that because at one point in time, I hated myself. I couldn't look myself in the mirror. It was actually the thing that would bring me into a rage. Many things were broke around me because I didn't like the person I would see in the mirror. And then I had to learn how to love that person. And then as I started to learn how to love that person, I was able to look in the mirror fearlessly. And now if I can look in the mirror fearlessly, guess what? I can stand in front of anybody fearlessly because we're all reflections of ourselves. I can see the reason that I believe some people say I'm good at this. What does that mean? I'm good at connecting with people. The reason why I believe people say that is because I felt everything that they felt and probably more, which is why I can empathize with them. Every time Skunk gets emotional, some part of me gets emotional because I was willing to share this information with him. We all feel the state of the world right now, and I think that scares us, which allows us to then go and look at our lives and maybe judge ourselves for not being where we want to be. But the only reason you're not where you want to be is because you didn't start to love yourself. You have to love yourself in the process of seeing the thing that you want to become. That's a dream. Most people have lost their dream. Your dream is the thing that God gave you to feel the passion that's actually placed in your soul, which is your heart's message. So what is your heart's message? What gets your heart on fire? What allows you to feel as above, so below? That's what you create. We imagine ourselves into this world. That's why they want you fearful, because then you stay where you are and you're complacent. If you're ruled by emotions, you get fucked up in a war. In a fight, if I can get you emotional, I will mess you up. Why? Because all of you're thinking about is getting me back or not getting hurt. How many people do you know that are living lives of grief or somebody else? It's because of somebody else. You're already
Yep.
so manipulated by your emotions. So we have to take control of our emotions. And one of the best ways you can learn how to take control of your emotions and feel better is to feel better. Mind, body, mind, body, mind, body, soul. If your body doesn't feel good, how can you? So you have to find ways to be optimal. Biohacking is the way of the future. Why? Because it immediately gets you to the solution you're looking for. And this is why I've always believed this company was going to be the future. And here I am in the future of my intention that I set out 10 years ago. And here I am with people that are helping me live my dream and help me recognize that I am stepping in and continuing to become the highest version and example of possibility for myself as I'm watching someone else become, as I now get to watch you join the story and become. This is the way I believe God would want us to interact. Hey, how many people have you helped? Tell me your favorite story from here. I never get sick of the stories. Those are things that I feel like I can take pride in. That at one point in time, I stood up to my family. That at one point in time, I stood up to my friends. That at one point in time, I stood up to social media and said, hey, no, I know what I know. You're not going to tell me what I don't. Respectfully. Hey, I think that a lot of you are insane for drinking that. And someday maybe you'll figure it out. 10 years later, food babe outside of Kellogg's. Hundreds and thousands of people tuning in, making the news. Hey, Kellogg's has this in their food. And I'm sitting back here going, it's happening. Now do we get to save the children?
It's amazing.
Now will people listen? And people are listening, so we're about to change the world. So I hope you guys are excited.
I'm excited. I wanted to, Joel, I want to speak to you real quick, and then I'll let Maax and Carrie, if they got anything they want to say. But Joel, what you were talking about preaching the gospel and leading people to Jesus, I know that you've distanced yourself from Christianity, which I have as well. I'm a follower of Jesus. Don't stop preaching to people and talking to people about Jesus, because I think people need us as men outside of the church, away from the church, to help people find Jesus, because these big churches, these mega churches, they're corrupt. They're stealing these people's money. They're
Yes,
telling them they need to tithe 10%. And all these
absolutely.
pastors are funneling money through their 501c3s. They're buying jets. They're buying yachts. They're buying houses. They're buying warehouses full of cars. And that shit is not going to lead people to Jesus. So men like you and I have to do the work outside of the four walls of the church to lead people to real Jesus, to understand what true love is, and to understand how God is inside you, and God already loves you no matter where you are.
The highest example of possibility is to be. You said it yourself that you have to live a certain way so that your sons can see your example, because we all learn from modeling. Somebody shot a basketball a certain way, and that, because somebody else thought it was great, decided to try and shoot a basketball like that. And now the sport has continued to evolve. Same with wrestling, same with all sports, same with all humankind. Everything is about evolution, and everything is about you inspiring me and me inspiring you. I want to see how many children that you can save. I want, and I believe that that is an example of the love that Jesus was teaching. I have to love myself enough to make a change in me. My spiritual mentor once said to me, Joel, you want to save the world and you want to save everybody else because you just want to save yourself. Oh, yeah. So when I take all of the accountability and I take all of the responsibility that I'm supposed to with my life, because that's what God gave us free will. But the way we get to our highest self is to take responsibility for who we're becoming. I believe that God, the growth is the infinite principle of the universe. That is what I believe. I believe God is all. I believe the universe is all. I believe Christ is all. I believe Christ is a consciousness. And I believe that the Bible teaches you how to think from the mind of someone who was the highest example of what a human could be. So are you growing and becoming better? Because at one point in time, I used to pray to God, man, if I could just make it till noon and not get in a fight with one of my teachers. To now, not even the worst comment on social media can get me riled up. To the ability to be able to control my mind in a state of chaos and panic and emotions that aren't favorable. To know that my mind can take and transmute pain from either a past experience, or I believe that is what Jesus was ultimately trying to teach people, was that we have the ability to feel the love that we have and then share it with others. You have to accept God into your heart, Jesus Christ into your heart. And when you accept Jesus Christ into your heart, you become saved, and the kingdom of heaven is open to you. No one can come through the Father except through me. Okay, all life comes from the Father. All life comes from men carry life in their nutsack. You have children, that came from you. She is able to birth the child. So maybe, in my opinion, when I live the highest example of possibility, which is outpouring the love that I have for myself back into humanity, I'm leading people to Jesus through my example. Because like you said, there are many people who call themselves Christians. We can talk about the Catholic Church. We have so many people, mega churches that are filled with what we're finding out to be Satanist pedophiles, maybe. I want to, by my life, show people who I am. The highest possibility, the highest example of possibility is to be. And when it's simple, it's true. And when it's complicated, it's a lie. Joel, are you who you say you are? Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Of course I am. Yes, of course I am. Of course I am. Yes. Isn't that so much easier than trying to tell you who I am? I want people to be able to feel me immediately and know that they are safe. What did Jesus do? He sat with the lowliest of the lows and had people come to him, open up to him, know they were safe. I want the same. I want children, dogs, animals, other people, old people, young people to be able to feel safe and loved around me. And I believe that is living for and through and with Christ. And the more the people that do that, the more we win.
Yep. That was good. Amazing. Incredible speech, bro. You're preaching to the choir. Maax, what do you got anything before we shut her down?
How do I compare to that?
You be
How do
your
you follow?
highest. You be your highest self.
Oh no,
How do I follow that up?
I hear this man every day, and it's just as incredible to listen to every time.
Honored.
Yeah.
Hey, it's time. It's time. Thank you guys for you. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you having us on. I am grateful that you were able to hear the message, and now your life is becoming impacted, because that's what matters. I need no thanks. I need no praise. I need no adoration. I simply want to do what I want to do selfishly, which is to save the world's children. So you guys are me selfishly getting one step closer to my goal, so that I feel
Joel,
like I can finally rest.
I wanted to mention one thing.
No,
You really resonated with me.
Maybe, Carrie, maybe you and me should do some real talk on our lives.
You really resonated with me when you were talking about pride and being okay with being proud of yourself. And Michael knows this, I've struggled with self-worth like my entire life. And I have been I was in a marriage that I struggled with that. I've struggled with it my entire life. And I've always known within myself that I am a good person who has a lot of joy to give other people. And my self-worth has always struggled. I've always looked at myself and not liked who I've seen, not like the person that I am, even though I know in my brain I am a good person, but I've always struggled with that. And so you resonated with me just now when you were talking about being proud of yourself, allowing yourself to be proud of yourself, because just the other day, since we're on this health journey to not only be healthier as a couple, for our family, for our extended family, to model this for our children. The other day, I've never stuck with anything in my entire life. I have never completed something in my entire life. And feeling the positive effects of sticking with something, the other day I felt proud of myself. And I haven't told Michael this, but it makes me emotional because I've never felt good about myself, even though I know I'm a good person, even though I know I'm kind, even though I know I'm a good mom. But I struggle like you said, I struggle looking in the mirror. We work out every single day, together. And he's like, I want to put a mirror in this garage. Don't put a mirror in this garage. I don't like to look at myself. And the other day, because my body feels good, my mind feels good, my mood towards my children, to my husband who I love so much, to my family who I want them to be healthy and be in my life because I love them so much. I felt proud of myself for the first time probably ever in my life, and it made me feel my heart. I feel like for the first time in a very long time, selfishly feeling that for myself, not feeling that I'm a good mom or a good wife or good at my job or whatever. I felt good for myself, and it was a feeling I'd never felt before. And through this journey of detoxifying our body and doing it together as a couple and for our family, that's the first time I felt that. And it's changing my brain in the best possible way. It's changing my body in the best possible way. And that is a gift. And Maaxx introducing us to this has been the best thing for us. And selfishly, the best thing for me too, because I've been able to look at myself for the first time and be proud.
This is why I do
Amazing.
this, because you just made my day right now.
As above, so below.
Amazing.
You feeling that makes me feel good. And what is more important than feeling good? You just proved it. This day has become complete for me. I always try to find a way for the day to become complete. One goal to get to. Maybe that's just to take the product for the day. Maybe that's just to take the technology. Maybe it's just to jump rope one time. Maybe it's just to not allow anything to get to me. I'm going to have a good day.
Thank you.
So I am so proud and grateful for you. I am so proud of and am grateful for you. Thank you for even sharing that story. You didn't have to share that story, but you felt compelled to. And I am grateful, and I received that. We have to release to receive, and you're releasing the old so that you can take hold of the new thoughts, new patterns, new body, new mind, new spirit. This is the new. Now is always new. Remember this, whenever you're feeling down, whenever you don't know what's going to happen next, and you're searching for something, always come back to the moment. There's nothing more important than the single purpose of the present moment. There's nothing more important than the single purpose of the present moment. And what do you feel right now? And if you don't feel optimal, you find a way to feel better. If everybody can grasp what I just said, there's going to be so much mental freedom and energy that just hopefully freed up in you. You're thinking of possibilities right now. And again, light
Thank you, guys.
is hope to those in darkness. And I believe this is why we are the Hope Movement. And you are hope. Thank you for you, love.
Amazing.
And if you ever need anything, you let me know. Get my number. We can do some neurolinguistic programming, whatever you want. Guys, everything in your body, it's all in your body. It's all in your body, whether you realize it or not. And before we go, the last minute, I want to do a little exercise with anybody that feels like they have anything stuck in them that isn't moving, whether that's a thought, a belief, something negative that just feels like it's dawning on them. Everything is mind. Everything is mind. Everything is mind. Mind, body, soul. She just said her body felt good so that she then could start thinking differently. If you start thinking differently, you'll start feeling better. However you can get there, however you can get better, get there. And here's one quick way that you can get better now. I want you to bring awareness in your body right now to something that doesn't sit well with you. It could be a thought. It could be something about your body that you don't like. It could be something that you feel on a day-to-day basis that you do not want to feel any longer with the same energy that you do now. So if you're ready, in your mind, say, I am. And now that you're ready, we can proceed. I want you to go to the feeling or the thought and bring your awareness to it. I need you to feel that discomfort or that thing or that memory. I need you to feel it, and I need you to feel it now. And as you're feeling it now, here's the thing about getting uncomfortable. Here's the thing about getting uncomfortable. Once you bring your awareness to it and you can feel it more, you're in control of it. Hear me as I say this. The moment you bring your awareness to the discomfort and you feel it, and you can feel it more, and you can amplify the feeling. I know it sounds backwards. Trust me. The moment that you can bring your awareness to it and feel it fully, clearly, vividly, and take control of it, you can release it. So now, in your mind, as you're making it louder in your mind, you're making the image brighter in your mind, you're now starting to gray the image out in your mind. You're taking that image or that feeling and wherever it is in your body and now bringing it to our hand, because it's all in the mind, and the body is the mind, and the mind is the body. And as we bring that feeling or that thought to our hand, we can see that hand in our mind right now, going out of our hand into a white light. And as you're releasing that memory, or you're releasing that feeling, and you're sending your heart energy that is creating a white light that's releasing this feeling, this thought, this memory from your body. Now, release your hand as it leaves your body. And notice how you can't even feel that feeling anymore. Very interesting how now when you try to feel that feeling, it becomes very easy for us to immediately release it through our own hand, our own power, and our own mind. You are in control of it all. And whenever you need this little blessing and this gift that I just gave you, realize that it's in you. And you can do this whenever you need it. And you will feel better now.
Amazing. Joel, Maax, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.
Of course.
Where
Thank
can
you.
our listeners follow you guys?
Kingbau TV. Instagram _Kingbau on Twitter. Rumble Kingbau.
Awesome. And Maax?
Almost all platforms used to be Maax West, simple and easy, but now my Instagram and my TikTok both got shut down. So my new Instagram is Mad Maax West, and for TikTok I have acemannan _queen until I know if I'm gonna get it back. The Instagram is a goner, but then I have a private biohacking community right now where I want all of us to be a part of, you guys as well. It's a free community. Anyone can join. So you can go to biohackordie.com. And I'm trying to move everybody over there because if the platform shut me down again, that's where I want to gather everybody so we all can communicate. I'm also telling everybody who is ordering the food technology products to please come into the community because they can private message me in there if they have questions or something. So typically if somebody does order a product, I immediately just send them the link to join the community as well. So they always can get a hold of me. So it's not like somebody orders and then boom, my Instagram is gone and it looks like I try to scam them. So that's not the case. I'm always trying to be on top of that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Guys, thank you for listening to the Paterno podcast. Joel and Maax, we appreciate you. My beautiful wife, I appreciate you. And guys, thank you so much for listening to the Paterno podcast.
Maybe you should end also. Where can people find the food technology?
We put the link to it's in the show notes. Sorry. It's in the bottom of the show notes. You just click it, save 10% on all your purchases through the food technology through Alovea.com. And you can get all your products there if you want to try them.
Grateful.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, we are going to blast this video everywhere.
We appreciate it. You guys have a blessed night.
You too.